my name is Peter Teunis, and together with Endava, we are looking into how companies are shaping the future of payments. Together with our network of industry leaders in payments, we discuss trends and innovations happening in the payments and in the fintech industry. On this episode, we have Oliver Werneyer, founder and CEO of Imbers. Oliver, thank you for joining us. Can you please introduce yourself and tell a little bit more about Imbers?
Hi, Peter. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm Oliver. I'm originally from South Africa, and I'm one of the founders and the CEO of Imbers. We're based payments middleware company based out of Zurich, Switzerland, with offices in London and Lisbon, with a background in insurance. Right, so having been with direct insurer, reinsurer, having seen the operations and the distribution side of the world, and excited to contribute towards making that world easier.
Now, your company is mainly targeting payments in insurance companies. How did you come there? What did you see as the biggest challenges for these insurance companies?
So when we started, we actually didn't start with the idea to simplify payments for insurance. Me and some of the founders started actually a flight tracking app, and we wanted to sell flight delay insurance, which required real-time payments to customers while they're at the airport. And what we learned there is that insurers, even though the payment tech was available in the market, they did not have that connected to their systems. So the problem wasn't a question of choice, it was a problem of integration, and really found a way to pivot into that space and solve that problem.
Okay, because today insurance is still very paper-based. It's a paper-based processes. What is specifically for digital payments in insurance? What is the evolution of the last years? How do you see that?
So things to understand about insurers there is that while payments is really mission critical for them, they all understand it. I mean, insurance is based off an agreement to I take premium, I give you money back in claims. The world exists for them into two. It's the finance world, like I report, reconcile, and collect. And then there's everything that everybody else wants, like how customers want to pay, what's good for a customer segment, what is done in a market. So as much as insurers are really investing in digitalizing their processes, building better customer experiences, it all somehow ends up in payments. Right. So even if you launch an app, you launch a new online piece, you go from broker to online, all of that ends up actually in the payments world. And this is something, because it's not a core competency for them, they don't have teams set up to deal with payments, the experts to understand payments. They're finding it very difficult to bridge that gap to make, you can do all your front end digital, but really the operations are really lagging behind. It's really painful.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we often say it starts with the payment and it ends with the payment. And in insurance, that's for sure the case, because you have at one end the payment of the payment of the insurance subscriptions, and the other end the payout of claims. So you start and end with the payment, and in the middle of course.
And even more than that, Peter, is that in insurance, payments is actually the product, right? So if you buy online e-commerce, once you pay, you get something else and you're happy about that. And you will have views about, yeah, the journey has to be good, but your main view of like utility is how cool is the product. In insurance, the product is a payment. So if you mess that up in the moment, like in claims, with super emotional, super important, the impact on customer experience, customer satisfaction is massive. Like it's a real big moment of truth.
Yeah. Now, insurance also it's mainly about risk management for the customers. What is the evolution that you then see coming up? Is there something very specific, or the tendencies that you had the last years, will they evolve? Will they go to other payment methods? Will PSD2 open banking, or will they stay with the traditional secure ways of payment?
I think answering that slightly differently is to saying that because payment is not a core competency, they're looking for a way to build a better business, and an insurer will always first try to make sure regulatory stuff is in place, that the operations run, that you can grow, and that you build innovation. So in that order of importance. So I think as an insurer is looking to do better as a business. They will look at the innovation side. How can they cover new risks? So parametric risk is something that emerged recently, like flight delay, that requires a whole new capability around payments, real-time payments to the customer. Growing into new markets means the payment world there might look different, or launching new products, right? So that requires, again, understanding, and then this grows into everything from such as operations. How can I reduce the cost? So something that used to be paper-based, SEPA direct debit, now how do you use open banking to get the cost down? Because the cost is not just about the cost of transaction, but collecting a mandate, storing a mandate, the manual process when it fails, and then regulatory requirements. How do you show that you're meeting all those requirements? So within that, I think the whole bouquet of payments and the evolution in payments becomes an important part of the evolution of an insurer. It's just, again, delivering that at an operational level is something they're battling with.
But do they also then, maybe in organizational part, you see with a lot of international retailers today, a couple of years ago, payments was part of the finance department, but now they have really payments departments with payments leaders. It's really a separate stream in the company strategically. Is the insurance also evolving to that way, or are they looking more to outsourcing, or what do they prefer?
So we see no sign that any insurer has any appetite to build a payments team. For the one big reason is that while it's really important, the volume is just not there. Like even if you take a bigger insurer, I mean, just if they had 2 million customers and everybody paid monthly, which they don't, you're going to end up with like 24 million transactions a year, which is not nothing, but it's also not that much either. So just the utility of building a team, expertise, and running that has no like value at the moment. So they're really looking within the whole sphere of build, buy, and rent, much more on the rent side. Get the experts in, get software that continually evolves, because buy means you own and you have to upgrade, and you're trying to get away from that. So I think it's a very much an outward view, not just on actual tech, but also the competency, right? So, I mean, we see this as Endava and us, we work together. They need expertise and technology to be delivered.
Yeah, okay, good. Now, maybe as a last question, insurance is your team, but you're also the CEO of a fintech, building a kind of SaaS platform for payments. What is for you the most important aspect if you build that platform? What is the part that you always say to your CTO, please look at this, look at that, make sure that this remains in the platform? What is the typical response from the CEO?
Well, it's that we drive reliability and security above feature. So in the beginning, so no insurer or large enterprise we deal with wants to change everything in one go. They have very specific business problems they want to solve. And that is what you have to go in and solve reliably, so that there are no issues. And then together you can evolve, with the feedback from the client as to which features are actually needed for the business, not just nice to haves. Because if you are, as a startup CEO, as you're building a company, and you show outside, I have 40 clients, but 20 of them always everything fails, very soon you have no more clients. If you have 10 clients and 100% retention because everything works, getting new clients will not be a problem. So it's security and reliability over feature.
Okay, good. Now, Oliver, we come to the end of our time. Thank you for joining this session. I look really forward to see how Imburse and yourself will, let's say, grow in this market, as this is a very interesting part of the payments industry. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Peter.